Hello, solo challenge tubers, and welcome back to Let's Continue with the more challenging challenges with me, BlueAnkylo. So sorry it's been a little while, I took a little break from recording. It's been really hot, just where I live, just life story. There's a heat wave going on, and so there's some fans and stuff in the background. You might be able to hear them once in a while, I don't know. I'll try to set up my microphone and voice and stuff so it's not terrible, but, you know, it's difficult. Let me just turn, I feel like the music might have been a little bit loud. I don't know. No, that's probably fine. We'll test it out in post. Anyway, so here we are playing as the White Wizard. So I decided after doing the 6 different solo runs that I should take one of the solo characters through the bonus dungeons. And I decided to go with the White Wizard for a few reasons. Primarily, I think she'll have the best chance at clearing some of the bonus bosses. Without having to grind for a lot of elixirs and X potions. Basically, because she has access to full heal, or Curaja, or whatever you want to call it, Cure 4, that gives her a lot of survivability in big fights where she'll take a lot of damage. So that'll help out. Plus, a lot of the random groups can be dealt with Holy, and she's got a lot of intelligence, not as much as a Black Wizard, but pretty good. So she'll do pretty good AoE damage, and that'll speed a lot of things up. Other than that, you know, we're missing out on some black magic that we get some of back from, we've got access to level 2 Fire, Ice, Lightning. And maybe we'll get some more spells as we go through the bonus dungeons. So that's kind of what I decided to go with. I also feel like it's kind of thematic, you know, the White Mage taking on all the bonus dungeons. So let's get to work. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. We'll start with the default. Oh, I forgot. I turned my speed down. Hold on. I want my default move speed to be a little bit faster. 200? Is that not 200? How come you're not going 200? Oh, we've got... I hope my recording software haven't changed any settings since the last time I played. Sorry, guys. Just a second. I thought I had this all set up from last time I played. There. 200%. We might be skipping a frame now and then. Let me just see in a random battle how it looks. It's probably fine. I'm not really doing anything in the background, so you'd think I could manage to play one Game Boy Advance game and record at the same time. Anyway, so what I want to start with is the Earth Gift Shrine, which unlocks when you've defeated the Lich, basically. So, this is where we're going to start. Now, this dungeon is balanced for a 4-member party, 4 living party members, right after defeating the Lich. So, for the most part, this should be pretty easy at level 99, but I would definitely not recommend trying to do it as a solo run right after beating the Lich, because at the very least, you need to have a ribbon before you come here, if you're going solo. So, just to go over... Oh, actually, I have to kill these ones. Anytime there's like on this map, anytime there's a guy standing in the way, you actually have to win the fight. Let's talk a little bit about how the bonus dungeons work. The Earth Cave is the nice one to talk about because it's the simplest of the 4 bonus dungeons. Every one of these dungeons has a different number of floors. So 5 floors for this one, then 10, then 20, then 40. So this is the simplest one. Now, the last floor and certain numbered floors are always boss floors, and they never change. So, for instance, in the Earth Gift Shrine, the 5th floor is always the boss floor. So there's nothing you can really do to change that. That floor will always be the same. The goal is to get there, kill a boss, get some loot. Now, the 4 floors preceding the 5th floor, so numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, there are 4 different maps. This is one of them. They can be shuffled, any random order, or, well, maybe not any random order, but this purple forest could appear on floor 1, 2, 3, or 4, is the main point. This map has a certain number of treasure chest spawn points. So, I'm heading up to one right now, which is traditionally the rare chest. Now, what you get... Actually, that was a random encounter, not a set encounter. What you get from the chest is not determined by the map, but by the floor number that you are on. So we're currently on, Purple Forest floor 1 version, which does not even put a chest here. Now, if we're on floors, if we got this map on number 2, 3, or 4, which we won't right now, but it could have happened, then there would have been a chest here that would have had different magical items in it. That's kind of what I was hoping to show off. The good news is, or bad, depending on how you want to look at it, in order to show you all 4 bonus bosses, we'll have to do the dungeon 4 times. So, I'm going to try to speed through a lot of this as quick as I can, because it's going to get a little bit repetitive. And I don't want to spend 20 episodes on bonus dungeons, if I can help it. Now, all of these enemies, they're very easy. If you came here after killing the Lich, after doing the Earth Cave, I'm sure you could handle all of these desert peds and stuff, no matter what your party composition. Like, these things, they're not much stronger than normal goblins and stuff, so don't worry about them too much. The fact that I've got Holy is just sort of speeding things up. Actually, I should preserve my MP. Not that it really matters, but let's move some stuff around here. Pretty sure the Black Robe's ice will do the most damage, so let's just go with that. And then this way I don't have to waste MP, basically. And actually, I guess Undead is strong against it. So here's one treasure chest, and it had a high potion. Again, that would every treasure chest on any map can give you different items depending on what floor number you're on. Hopefully I've made, like, it's hard to explain, but hopefully that makes sense. It's simple enough to see on this dungeon, like the Earth Shrine, or whatever we call this one. Earth Gift Shrine. It's a lot more difficult to demonstrate on the Water or Wind dungeons, because they have 20 or 40 floors. But, we'll do this one 4 times in a row, and hopefully you'll be able to see some of the rare items you could get. The reason I'd like to show them off is because they have some use getting early on in the in the run, if you're willing to do it. This map, the large desert, every group of, unless you have memorized the map, the way to get through it is to look at the little trees and think of them as pointing as an arrow, and then just follow the arrow they point in, basically. Now, the desert floor does have one rare enemy that's very strong. Kind of like how the top level of the Floating Fortress had the War Mech. There is an enemy in here that would, well, at our levels we'd be fine. But if you come here at lower levels, like right after you unlock the dungeon, even with a group of 4, there's the potential to have a party wipe. Because he's going to be way too strong. I'd actually kind of like to show him off, just so you guys can see what he looks like. But he's kind of the War Mech of the desert. The early game War Mech of the bonus dungeons. We're getting a lot of desert ambushes in the desert. I mean, I guess it makes sense. But it's slowing my run down significantly. Alright, there we go. I found the stairs. So that's that floor. This floor, the next 2 floors are going to be very short in comparison, so don't worry too much. We got the long ones out of the way right at the beginning. So one thing you might notice, a lot of the random treasure chests just have sort of trash in them. But if you're playing the vanilla game, you actually would not have access to a lot of these items other than rare drops. So the ability to get, like, we'll get things like Hermes shoes and elixirs down here randomly from treasure chests. So it's still good to loot them, even if you're not getting the rare equipment that you might want. Alright, the last floor that's not a boss. Red Fangs and Ethers, you know, nothing's too important. Okay, this is the boss floor. So for this one, there are 4 different bosses. We're just gonna go through them clockwise, I guess, for no specific reason. At our levels, none of these should be that difficult, but if you want, like, good strategies for how to fight these things, you'll have to do them with a full party, and, you know, you'll learn a little bit more. Now, I believe this guy technically does a fire breath, so having Null Blaze would be good if you don't have ribbons. We probably can just smack him with the Mazmune pretty well. Let's see how it works. Oh, he's got lightning. Sorry, I got the spells wrong. They're from, all the bosses in the Earth Shrine, I believe, are from, Final Fantasy 3, I believe? Is it 3? It's either Final Fantasy 2 or 3. You know, the NES ones. Okay, we're not doing very much damage. These fights, like I said, they're pretty strong. Like, you can do them as a solo character, but not at low levels. Like, the reason we're only taking 100 damage per Thunderbolt there is because we've got a ton of magic resistance and the ribbon, taking half damage from lightning element from the ribbon. So if you didn't have, you know, whatever our magic defense is, it's probably maxed out at 255. You'd actually take a lot of damage from those things. Okay, so that's one. Now, the piece of equipment we got there, the Kotetsu, it's actually pretty good if you have a thief at the level you're supposed to come. If you get this right after the Lich, this is a really good weapon for your thief. But again, you're probably not going to survive a solo thief run through there. Probably, anyway. I don't know. Did I bring cottages? Total. Alright, that's one down. Let's see if we can blast through the next... I'd like to get the Earth Gift Shrine done in today's episode if possible. So this time we started on the desert floor, which is different. This is actually good. I believe this means the purple forest floor will be on the 4th floor this time. I think they just rotate kind of in order, like as a batch. So you can predict what floor, which map will be on which numbered floor if you know the order the floors come in, basically, I think. And if you know the treasure list for a specific floor number... Oh, hey, there they are. Abyss Worms. These guys are actually really quite strong. Yeah. Yeah, we might actually die. Yeah, I should have blinked. I didn't realize they'd hit that hard. Wow. Miss? Yeah, I think unless I can run, we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. Alright, good. This is not what I wanted. I wanted anything but this floor. Also, when you die, that's right, I forgot to mention that. When you die in here, you just get sent to the beginning. Can I please just die again? Just like to die again. Oh, they revived everybody. Oh, the worst. No. They all got 2 levels up. Okay, you know what? I haven't saved it, but it's... Ah, no, everything's messed up. Oh, no. I wasn't supposed to have that happen. Oh, okay, just give me a second to get back. So we killed the one. Dang it. So yeah, Abyss Worms. Hey, I warned you guys. I said they're dangerous. We won't be fighting him again, though. Don't worry about it. But I showed him off once. Jeez. Alright, this time we started on a different floor. It's fine. I expected if you used your ruse or blink immediately, you'd probably be okay. But, I mean, we're no slouch for damage. Like, we have 51 defenses. Pretty good. And he still did 400 damage per hit. Stronger than the boss. I mean, I said he was the Warmac, right? Alright, so then we get the purple floor on level 2. I would have preferred seeing this on level 4, but it's fine. Let's try to zip through. I'm going to use a bit more frame skip here just to, you know, save a little bit of time, basically. Like, every enemy that's not an Abyss Worm down here is super easy. So, you only, like... The only thing that will kill you easily down here is the bosses and the Abyss Worms. Other than that, there's no reason you couldn't do this dungeon right after killing the Lich. But some of those bosses are very difficult to kill at any level without status protection because they have a lot of death touch type attacks. Still no treasure chest up there. That's the spot you want to check for the good loot. But I think this... to get the good treasure up there, you need this floor to be on levels 3 or 4, not 1 or 2, is what it's looking like. I guess we can just use the Mazmune to cut through them pretty quick anyway, right? Like, it's probably faster if I don't mess around with magic. So let's, if we get the desert floor after this one, like usual... let's put a save in. Not expecting to get ambushed by Abyss Worms. Hey, the Black Cow. That's one of the things I was going to show off. This is, again, pretty good for your Thief or your Ninja early on in the game. It'll be not as good as a Ribbon, but it's one of those optional items. It's one of the new items from the bonus dungeon that's pretty good when you get it if you go here early. If you come here before getting your promotions, it's great. Just like that Kotetsu. So far, we've seen 2 upgrades for thieves, basically. I should just have a map of the desert, and I'd know exactly where to go from wherever I start, but whatever. This will take us to the exit soon enough. Fortunately, they don't put you in an infinite loop. Sometimes you'll find treasure chests, you know, no big deal. The 4th floor is the one that has the best loot on it, but you'll only get it if you're in the purple forest on the 4th floor. Okay, 1 boss down. Let's try out boss number 2. So yeah, for fighting the Cerberus, Definitely need lightning protection, no doubt about it. This guy, I believe, is physical. Die now. Warrior of Light. Yeah, so two-headed dragon hits really hard. You're gonna want some way to increase your evasion against this guy, or else he'll just get crushed. I don't actually think he hits as hard as the Abyss Worms, but he still hits really hard. So if you're playing early game without... if you're trying to get through here at a low-level solo challenge, the White Mage might be your best bet, because they've got access to the Blink spell. Let's see how much damage we can hit for. 700 with the Masmune. Again, you would never have the Masmune this early, so you'd have to be bonking him with a silver hammer or something. And you wouldn't have Giant's Gloves either, so... Again, I don't think on a solo challenge you can realistically come to these dungeons when they first open up. You're pretty much always going to have to wait until you've basically got access to at least one ribbon, probably the defense sword, and maybe the Giant's Glove. And at that point, some of them are soloable, but maybe not all of them. So Bard's Tunic. Not particularly interesting. It is equipable by the mages. I think it's technically better than the Silver Ring. So again, if you come here, anybody can equip it, yeah. I think if you come here right after the Lich, before you get the airship, this Bard's Tunic would have a short life until you get gold rings, and then he's obsoleted by the gold rings. So, unfortunately, this is why I wasn't too worried about doing these dungeons. I feel like, for the most part, for the solo challenges, by the time you're strong enough to kill those bosses, you will almost always have equipment that outstrips... This is not the one I wanted. Can I not? I saved, right? I saved. I want to show off a different floor format. You can just save right before this door. I'm only going to really do this on the Earth Shrine, because I know how the floor layout works a bit better. In the other floors, like the Earth and the Fire one, I'm sort of familiar with how the rotation works. But in Water and Wind, they're just such a large, long dungeon. I know there are ways of sort of manipulating the RNG a little bit, so you'll get the specific armor and loot that you want on the floor that will show up. But I'll point out the floors that have all the treasure chests for those ones. But you know, like I said, these are the only ones that I can reliably remember. The purple floor is here, and it's followed by the desert floor. So if you want the purple floor on the fourth floor, which is what I want eventually, we just need to see the desert first, and we'll be fine. As long as we don't get killed by Abyss Worms. But there should be a chest up in the top right now that has an item in it that I'd like to show off. So yeah, that basically the idea with the bonus dungeons is there are a few good pieces of equipment spread through the floors, although you won't always see them because it depends on the random floor layout. So that kind of sucks. And then the boss drops will always give you whatever they give you. Okay, so that's the normal way to get the Black Cowl. We did pick it up in the desert one time, but that was kind of like a lucky drop. It will always be in this chest on the fourth floor, or the third floor on the purple forest. So that's an easy way to get that. And there's one other item that I feel like is worth getting in the... like, if you're not strong enough to beat the final bosses in here, you could still pick up that Black Cowl, and you could also pick up the other item that I'm going to show off the next time I run. Once we get this purple forest on floor 4, then I'll show you the final good item in here, basically. But we'll get through our desert here. Well, not bad. We should be able to get through here in 30 minutes. Now, if you die, technically you just get kicked out, but you can still reset and reload anyway, so it's no big deal. But if I do run into Abyss Worms, I know what to do, so we might be okay. Unless it's an ambush. Everyone's favorite desert. Trust me, there's far worse floors when you're coming here in the higher... once you come back to like the water or wind ones, there's really nasty floors. So that was an interesting drop. Again, one of the things you'll get if you do these floors a lot, these bonus dungeons a lot, is you'll start stacking up on stat increasing items like HP up. You can also get intelligence, strength, luck up as well. And those, they can be pretty nice actually. Alright, so we're going through it clockwise, so here we go. Third boss. This one even has a bonus treasure chest. we've got ourselves the Ahriman. Now, I believe he will have death spells, so if you don't have a Protect Ring or a Ribbon, you're pretty much screwed. I think he might even have, like, Quake or Crack that does Earth Elemental death, which is pretty bad as well. But as a White Mage with a Ribbon and all the other goodies, we should be fine. Let's see how much damage we can do, yeah. Yeah, there's your Earthquake. So again, if you're here with a low-level party that doesn't have any kind of status protection, that'll pretty... Like, these guys have pretty high, I guess, I don't know if it's magic accuracy or intelligence, but like, yeah. So you'll need like fire protection and death protection to really have any chance against this guy, and ice protection by the looks of things. So a mixed party could do it right after the Lich, but you'll need Null Blaze, Null Shock. Can't remember what level anti-rub is. It might be like level 6 or 7, and unfortunately that's, you know, that's not right after the Lich. You might as well go get some just get some Protect Rings and stuff, basically. You can go buy Protect Rings for free. I think Protect Rings work against Quake, although I could be wrong. Alright, so that's 3 done. We got one more loop. And all I need to do is get the desert first, and I should be able to show you the purple forest on the 4th floor, which is, yeah, perfect. Exactly what I wanted. I didn't even save it like I meant to. Alright, let's just go up this time. I don't know. Can I just wing it here? Winging it is a bad idea, generally. This is a large enough desert that loops that it's pretty easy to lose track. I don't know where to go from here. This is kind of a hidden treasure. I think the one tree on its own. Oh no, I'm lost. Terribly lost. I should have just followed the directions. It always works if you just follow the trees. It just takes a while. There's probably like one person who's memorized this map and like, Blue, you just missed it. You just like one step to the left and you would have found it, Blue. Anyway, there's your typical way to the Oasis. Okay, so we'll go through the short floors that have no abyss worms. I'll pick up the treasure just because it's like habit mostly, but I don't think there's anything in the random chest that I would want other than maybe... Oh, this is on 3rd floor. This is not what I wanted. Uh-oh. Shoot. Maybe I got the pattern mixed up. Yeah, because this is not going to have what I want in the top right. I think I need to get this on the 4th floor. And I thought the desert... So it must be the other... One of the small floors needs to come first then. Because I bet you this is another Black Cal. Yeah, we just got that. Well, we'll fight the last boss, and then I'll see if I can manipulate it to show off. I mean, it's no big deal. I just wanted to show off sort of how to do it if you're playing along. And the last item is actually one you might want more than one of if you're playing along at a typical level. Before you get, like, Protect Cloaks. Alright, thanks, White Mage, for slaughtering all these fools. So this is the floor we need to see first. The short, curvy floor. We gotta see this on the 1st floor. Okay, I'll remember that. Alright, let's try out the final of the bosses. And it's Echidna. Again, I think they've got Quake or something for instant death, so if you don't have status protection... If you don't have status protection, you should probably be on the left side of this floor, either dealing with physical hits or magical hits, basically. So we'll do the typical... Unfortunately, as a solo White Mage... Oh, it has the death spell. Yeah, that's great. The Protect Ring will definitely protect you from that, though, so... I think it's got an elemental party-wide attack as well. Yeah, Flare! Holy smokes. So if you came here at a low level, you'd be in for some fun. Fighting someone with Nuke right at the beginning. Yeah, I guess... I just feel like at a low-level party, these bosses are really tough to get through. I mean, even at a relatively high level, like max level White Mage, I still have to blink, and I was almost needing to heal up through the flares, basically. And like I said, keeping in mind, 170 damage flare is much lower than what you would typically find at a low level with low magic resistance and no ribbon. Now, ribbon doesn't cut it in half, but I hear that perhaps the ribbon gives you a hidden magic defense buff, so it still lowers the damage, just doesn't give you protection from non-elemental. Alright, well, we're pretty much done. That's the 4 bosses, although we sort of lost one of them in the Abyss Worm disaster. But you can see them down here, at least the ones I killed. So Bard's Tunic from that guy, pretty good stats. Dry Ether, X Potion. You could totally farm X Potions off of Echidna and have them ready for your fight against Chaos if that's something you needed. Some of the melee not white mage classes could really benefit from having spare X Potions. So, you know, that's something at least. Now, I want to show off this last item, and I'm going to do it. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put a save state in, because that'll be faster. Oh, this is the right one. This is the curvy one. Perfect. I didn't even have to reload. Okay. For real, this is the right way to do it. No? No? So it's not curvy. The other type of small floor? Maybe they don't follow a set route, and I'm completely wrong. So that was small, then curvy. I need to see desert next, and then we're good. Alright, we're good. I'm going to save it again so I don't die to an Abyss Worm. Look, I don't really know how the floor rotation works. I was just trying to sound smart. I know that it rotates. That's as much as I've got. And there are patterns that... I know that there are patterns that exist. So if you look it up, there are guides that will do a better job explaining how to get the one floor that has all the treasure chests to show on the number, the floor number that has the treasure you want. So I want a specific treasure. I need it on the 4th, like I can only get it on the 4th floor, and I need a certain map that will get me that treasure chest on that floor. So now we're finally going to see what that treasure is. It's not even that good. It's just early on, this is a nice upgrade, basically. Just like the Black Cowl and the Kotetsu, if you pick this up early for your mages, this would be pretty nice. That's kind of the point of showing off these bonus dungeons, is just to show you kind of what might be useful. So again, like, if you're doing a solo run, it might be worth coming in, getting just to level 4, not necessarily needing to fight any of the bosses, to get this. Because the Elven Cloak is pretty good. It's technically better than the Protect Cloak, so it's like the best shield in the game, maybe. And we could have just gotten it right after we killed the Lich. The Protect Cloak doesn't actually give you any status protection, unfortunately. It sounds like it should. But the Elven Cloak actually provides better defense. So that's why I work so hard to get it. Almost anyone can equip it. Now, normal shields should be better, so fighters are probably better off with shields. But red, black, white, and certainly thieves, although maybe not so much ninjas, should probably all, if you can, get an Elven Cloak. And you'll basically keep that on for the majority of the game. So, there you go. It's not like it's much better than the Protect Cloak, but it is strictly better. So there you go. We finally got an actual upgrade. Let's go beat up one more of the final bosses of the Earth Shrine, and then we'll end our episode. Not like that one defense will really make much difference here, but we're fighting enemies that hit really hard, like Abyss Worms. You know, that's 1 less damage times each hit we take. I don't know. It's hard to get too excited. But don't worry, there are items that are big upgrades for our solo White Wizard. I'm just... Well, I guess just to explain myself, because I'm only doing a single class here, there are other classes that get a lot more value from these bonus dungeons at different sort of time frames. So like the ninja, or the thief specifically, actually gets a lot of value from here. He could use the Elven Cloak, he can use the Kotetsu, he can use the Black Cowl. I think the monk might as well. You'd be able to use a bunch of those. So if you're running with a thief or a monk, the Earthgift Shrine is actually pretty good. But not too many other classes get much out of it, other than the mages. Alright, who do we want to fight one more time? Well, let's fight the one that I lost the save for, I guess, just so it's all cleared up. Alright, we'll do our standard double blink or triple blink. You know, I've been to test out. I'm pretty sure that, unfortunately, element spells don't give you stacking protection with your equipment protection. Like, we're taking 90-something damage from his Blizzara. I want him to cast it again just so I can see, but I don't think... Thunderbolt, that's the one. Still 90 damage. I was hoping that maybe you could see it double stack, but no such luck. Yeah, Null Death is level 7. That's the way you'd stop Earthquake and all that other stuff. And Null All is actually really good too, technically. That would have just cast all the elemental protection spells, but, you know, whatever. It doesn't really matter when you've got a ribbon on. It definitely opens up the option for some light warriors to not have a ribbon equipped, and then you just cast Wall on them instead in any dangerous fight. Which is totally an option, because sometimes there's other helmets that are much stronger than a ribbon defensively or provide some other benefit, and then you just cast Wall to protect them anyway, right? Alright, thank you for the boss music. Goodbye, Cerberus. Thanks for the Kotetsu. So now we got everything properly. Okay, well that's one bonus dungeon done. I managed to do 5 loops in one episode because I did a lot of frame skipping. The next one up will be the fire dungeon that opens up after you kill the Marilith or Carrie. And it's not going to take too much longer. We'll see a different Final Fantasy's version of bonus bosses, and I won't be looking for specific floors and treasure, because I only really remember the Black Cowl and the Elven Mantle from the first dungeon. I know the Hellfire Chasm, whatever it's called. It probably has some good loot, but I might not be able to show it off, because instead of 5 levels, now there's 10. And it becomes a lot harder to rotate them to get the one you want. But maybe I'll open up a guide on the side and just let you know if there's any good loot that maybe you could try to grind for, because I don't think I'm going to have the patience. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.